Welcome again, guys, to today's class. We're talking today about how to use AI to enhance the learning design, to enhance our learning design using the ADDIE model. How many people here are familiar with the ADDIE model? So, how many people are familiar with the ADDIE model here? You're familiar with the ADDIE model. Jonathan is great. Olama is fantastic. Who else is familiar? Okay, that's great. Just keep it coming in the chat. And then I asked us earlier as well, how many people attended the eLID webinar on AI? So Precious says she didn't. Precious and Victoria did not. Olama did. Jonathan, I believe I was there. Okay, great. So being familiar with ADDIE. Precious, you're not familiar with the ADDIE model. Jonathan and Olama are familiar. Great. So the first thing I'm going to do now is to share with us two links. One is the one talking about the ADDIE model. It's on our YouTube channel. We've had a recording on it. It explains basically what instructional designers do using the ADDIE model. And then we had an AI specialist come to talk to us about how to use ADDIE, how to use AI to enhance our learning using the ADDIE model. Talking about the different, there are 5 processes in ADDIE: the analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluation. So these are the steps you take in the process of learning design. That is not why we're here today, so I'm not going to go much into that. So I'll share a link with you right now. The first link I have here is the one about so I'm going to put it in the chat now. I'll put in the chat now. Make sure you watch that YouTube channel concerning how to use AI for the 5 stages, because what we want, that video gives an overview of the use of AI in designing your learning using the ADDIE model. Now we are going into the details, right? We're going into details now to actually go through the different stages. So today we are going to touch on the analysis stage and the design stage. So one other thing that I asked is, how many people here actually work in the L&D department of the organization? We're going to work together. This is going to be, something that we do together. I'm not just going to be feeding us with information. It's going to be practical. Victoria does, Olama does, fantastic. So can you suggest a topic, probably one of the topics that you have, maybe your organization has designed learning on, or a topic that you yourself has, a course that you have taken in your organization, maybe compliance training or anything. I want you to suggest one topic. We're going to work together this afternoon. So suggest a topic to us right now. While I wait for that in the chat box. So the first thing I want us to just quickly look at is, why do we use AI? Like I said, the link to the video that I sent to you now has, different information about why we should use AI and how, the pros and cons of using AI. I mean, we've heard people talk about the fact that it saves time, different things. And then one of the cons is the fact that it's probably going to replace people, make people lose their jobs. That's one of the things which, if you listen to that, if you watch that video, you're going to see that it's not really so. AI is only going to replace people who refuse to, adapt their learning, improve on their skills, especially in AI, how to use AI. Someone who knows how to use AI to do the job better will definitely replace you if you don't do that. So AI in itself cannot replace you, because there is still the human touch that is required in AI. So one thing is that what we're going to focus on today is the fact that AI saves time. That's one major, advantage that I'm focusing on today. Generative AI solutions can take over more technical and administrative tasks of you. the mundane activities like research, project plan, analyzing, generating insight from data, you know, suggesting creative ideas. These are things that we spend so much time to do when we want to design learning. And, you know, this is where you use AI. However, you need to, you know, haven't, you know, generated these insights, this information. There's the need for your human touch. For example, based on your experience, you know what is right. You still need to go through the information and, you know, tailor it to, you know, your experience, the organizational goal, you know, the needs, and then these are things that we're going to look at. So yes, AI helps to automate tasks. Absolutely. It helps you to automate your task. So I have a link here which says www.thereisanaIforthat.com. So this link, I'm going to also share in the chat right now. If there is anything you want to do with AI, this is a place that you want to go to and search for that tool that will help you to achieve what you want to achieve. I'm not going to go into details. Like I said, the video that I shared for the YouTube video that I shared for one of our webinars on AI has details on these things, but this is one that I just want to put here. So I said earlier, you need to be clear about your goals, be clear about your needs, your processes, to be able to choose your tools, okay? If you go to there's an AI for that, there are different tools, but how do you know which one? How don't you get confused? You need to be sure about the goals of your, you know, research. What are your needs? What process? For example, in learning design, we use the ADDIE model. So that just helps you to know that, okay, I'm going to analyze, I'm going to design, I'm going to develop, I'm going to implement, and I'm going to evaluate. So I want to look for AI tools that will help me to analyze. See how I'm breaking it down? To analyze my learning goals, my, you know, learning outcomes, objectives, my learners' need, you know, who they are. So I want to choose an AI tool that will help me to achieve that, right? And then you go to the design. So this is one of the ways you choose your tools. Before I move forward, does anyone have a question based on that? I like the fact that the class is getting interactive already. You know, Precious says it helps automate tasks. Olama puts a topic on emotional intelligence. Fantastic. So let's work with that. We're gonna work with that to generate some content. So this AI class that we're having is going to be in 2 phases, one today and then 2 weeks time, the same time. And what we are focusing on today is just the analysis stage and the design stage. In the next class, we're going to focus on the development, implementation, and evaluation stage. So let's work with our emotional intelligence course. I want to design a course right now. So the first thing is analysis, right? So what do we do during the analysis stage? For Precious and Precious, you said you are not aware of what ADDIE means, and I think Victoria too said she's not aware of what the ADDIE model means. I've explained it briefly, but there's a video that I have on YouTube that if you go to our YouTube channel, for example, if you go to this YouTube channel that I sent on the AI course, AI webinar that we had, just search on our page for the course that says what instructional designers do, the ADDIE model. So that will explain to you what the ADDIE model is all about. So now, analysis stage. What do we do basically in an analysis stage? We identify the problems and the learning needs. That's a summary of what we do in the analysis stage. This is when you engage with stakeholders to have a good sense of what problem we are trying to solve. So that makes us want to, you know, develop this training intervention. You know, there's a lot of analysis that goes into a lot of questions you ask at this stage that will help you to even make them realize whether learning is the solution to the problem to start with, or there are other things that you need to do alongside learning to be able to solve the problem, right? So this stage will do things like analyzing the learners themselves. What are the gaps that they have? If we say there's an issue, probably we are trying to increase our return on investment, and then the customer service, team, they're very crucial in helping us do this because they are client facing, and that they are not doing their jobs well. They are not taking, they are not empathic in the way they relate with customers, and then there is a gap and we are losing customers. So we want to create a training to help them attend to these customers in a better way. So that's like, there's an organizational goal to increase return on investment, and there's a learning goal where you want to help the learners to generate certain measurable outcomes in terms of how they relate with customers. These are analysis that, so what are the skills that they actually need to ensure that they face these customers well? You outline those. So which of these skills do they already have? Which one is missing? That's the learning gap. And then what do they need now? What topics do we need to teach them? How do we teach them? Probably these trainings have been done in the past, and we are still not seeing changes. So what do we need to do to ensure that they actually grasp it? Do we want to organize our training and have a learning experience for them in such that there's a form of simulation? And you're thinking of like scenario-based learning where the content is not like you just have PDF file sent across to them, and then they're not even motivated to read, to go through it, to even understand it. So are we designing our learning in such a way that it's scenario-based? We throw a challenge to them as if they're actually relating with the customers. We give them a choice. We give them the challenge, the choice. And then when they pick a choice, they're able to get the results, the consequence of that choice. If they make the wrong choice in terms of what they say, how they behave. So that's, are we designing our learning in such a way? This is the point where we analyze what we want to do. And then one major thing that we do in the analysis stage is to, at the end of the analysis stage, the output is to have a scope document or training specifications or curriculum. That's when learning outcome, we have the topics that we want to teach them, and we have a scope document that talks about how long we need to teach them, things like that. Now, to be able to achieve this, one major tool that we need is ChatGPT, because this is when we generate insights about, we want to develop curriculum. So what are the things that we do with AI at this stage? We have data compilation. You're relating with your stakeholders to understand their needs and all that. And at times, the stakeholders or the subject matter experts they cannot even explain well. They are not really sure what the problems are, or they are not even sure of what topics. They know the problem, but they're not sure of what are the needs of this of our employees. What training needs they actually is required of them? What are the topics? What do we need to do? In this place, as an instructional designer, you can go on ChatGPT and search for requirements for becoming a good customer service professional, right? Olama mentioned emotional intelligence. So in this case, for the emotional intelligence, I think it's also related to customer service professionals. That's one of the skills that they need. They need to be able to know how to relate to customers. They need to have emotional intelligence. And at times, this may be a course that you want to present to team leads, to know how to relate with their, subordinates and motivate them to work properly. So we're going to go on ChatGPT now. One of the things we're going to search for are what topics, what are the requirements, training requirements for emotional intelligence, right? One of the things you also use it for is to summarize your key points, generate insight from different data. When you're relating with your stakeholders, your subject matter experts, you may have different, leads from different departments who have different ideas. And then during your meeting, during your brainstorm, you have loads of ideas. For example, you have, I know Olama works in an organization that has presence globally, and it's very important that the training needs are tailored to, there's a consistency in the training materials. And so at times you want to have meetings with people from different, geographical locations, and for you to be able to combine all of this information based on their needs, based on the culture of the place where they are based, and you want to create a learning that is now consistent and caters to everybody's need, you need to be able to generate insight. You need to be able to analyze the data and come up with, insights. Instead of spending so much time, developing graphs and all that, ChatGPT can do this for you. And then to outline organization-specific considerations, So let's just dive into ChatGPT now and try to create a course on emotional intelligence. Is there anyone here who knows how to use ChatGPT? I actually want to get us involved in this class, and I'm not just the only one talking and doing things. Is there anyone here who has used ChatGPT before? Okay, Olama, are you able to go online now, sign up to your ChatGPT and share your screen? Everyone is going to suggest things. We're going to give information about. Are you able to? Okay, great. So if you can sign up to your ChatGPT while I'm waiting for that, I'll just go ahead and say something. So everybody, I want us to be involved in this class. I'm going to give your own. So do we all agree to go for the emotional intelligence topic to start with? It doesn't look like we have a choice. That's the only one that has been suggested. So let me have in the chat if you're okay with that topic. Okay, great. So Victoria is seconded being seconded by Victoria. So I'm trying to open up my own ChatGPT here. While we wait for Olama. Olama, let me know when you're ready to share your screen. Yeah, okay, great. So thank you for that. Okay, you're ready. Right. Okay, great. So let's have your screen share. I enabled you to be able to share your screen alongside mine. Let me stop sharing so there's no confusion. Okay, great. So you're up.
I'm sharing now. Can everybody see my screen?
Is interesting. So please let's put in the chat if we can see her screen. Okay, great. Precious can see it. Yeah, okay, great. So they can see your screen. So,
all right.
So the first thing we want to do, our topic is emotional intelligence. One of the important things about using ChatGPT is being able to put in the right prompts. You want to be as specific as possible. Now let's assume that this topic on emotional intelligence, already met with the stakeholders, we understand the learners, we have an idea of the learners' needs, right? We have an understanding of their gaps, but then we want to create a course curriculum, learning outcomes. The first thing we want to right now is to generate information about the learning requirements to become an effective, to have the right emotional intelligence skills. What are the learning requirements for emotional intelligence skills? If you can craft that better with your own English, that's fine. So we are not generating content now. We are just, let's write requirements. Don't say write a content. We have not gotten to the point of context. We need to generate our learning outcomes first before we now start generating the curriculum. So let's just write, what are the requirements, the required skills for an employee to have what are the required skills for an employee to be emotional intelligent? Yeah. these skills we're looking at, let's just, what are the requirements? What are the requirements for an employee to have emotional intelligence skills? Yes. Not required skills. Requirements for an employee to have emotional intelligence skills. Okay. Guys, if anybody has any suggestions about, what to put in as prompts, you can just put in the chat. So let's go. Let's see what that gives us. So and we can see that it has generated 2 tables. We can ask it to stop. Okay, it's rounding up now. So let's go back up and read what we have. So this one says, response 1, emotional intelligence is a crucial skill for employees across various blah, blah, we know that. While specific requirements may vary depending on the nature of the job and the organization, here are some common traits, abilities associated with emotional intelligence. Okay, number 1, self-awareness. Okay, we have it on both 2 tables. Self-regulation. Let's go down. Empathy, absolutely. Social skills, yeah. Motivation, adaptability, communication skills, emotional resilience. So we have 10 things now that ChatGPT has. There is on the right side, conflict resolution, absolutely, authenticity. So it's most likely that your organization probably has learning materials already, right? Or maybe they have done their need analysis earlier. They already have some topics in mind. So what this is going to do for you is to look at, what they have in place and then what you've been able to generate from ChatGPT and decide, okay, do we even have all the learning outcomes, right? Do we need to add more? ChatGPT has given you, more suggestions, or are they, what I have now, are they more than what we have already? Do I need to add? Or maybe what ChatGPT even suggested is not as much as what we have already. So that helps you to be able to confirm that we're on the right path, right? And if you don't have enough, you know what to add to. So this gives you your learning outcomes. You have an idea of what skills that they should be able to have. Now, the next step in your analysis is, okay, these are the required skills, right? What skills, if we look at, through observation, through the performance of our employees, do they have all of these skills? Do they have all of these skills? So you want to ask yourself that. You want to compare that. Okay, so that's another stage you get on with maybe the team leads, or have, you may even get to the point of having meetings with even the entire team, the customer service team or client relationship team, that the client facing team, and ask them questions. If you remember when we had this AI webinar in February, one of the things that was mentioned, I think it was Olama that asked that question about no, the lady mentioned that whatever you're doing with AI, whatever information learning that you are, involved in, you want to make sure that you carry the employees along. And that's the place of feedback. You always have to carry them along. Every training you do has to be learner focused. So as much as the team leads believe they know what these people need, as much as the organization believe they know what they need, there's a place for you having meetings with. It may be, if the organization has too many people, you want to get representatives, or you have a webinar where you ask people who are interested to come and be involved in the conversation. Why do you think you're not doing your job well? What are the skills that you think you need? Those are things you also may want to add to what you have. So the reason I'm mentioning this is for us to know that even though it's good to use AI, you don't want to make everything you're doing tailored only to what comes from AI. You need to have it tailored to your business goal. You need to have it tailored to the learner's need. And how do you know their need if you don't even ask them, if you don't talk to their team leads? So we have we have now generated our learning outcomes. And with what we have here, like I said earlier, you can compare to what is already existing and know whether you're on the right track or you need to make adjustments. So the next thing after this, we have this, these are the skills required. So ask you to write learning outcomes, because when you are designing a course, you are going to have to write the outcomes, the learning objectives. So the next thing the next prompt is kindly write learning outcomes tailored to these requirements above. So now it's going to just, you can say, yes, let's write it. If it's not summarized, then we can ask you to summarize it after. Objectives above. Rather than say, what are the learning outcomes tailored to the objectives above, I'd rather say, generate or suggest, suggest the learning outcomes. Suggest learning outcomes in alignment with the objectives above, or tailored to the objectives above. Let's go. Great. So as we can see what is being generated now, can you scroll up a bit? So what ChatGPT has done for us is to give us different topics, right? Let's say the module is emotional intelligence, or whatever we want to make it based on what we're trying to achieve in our organization, whatever topic, that's the entire module. Now, all we have now are the topics, right? You have self-awareness as a topic, you're going to talk about it. You have self-regulation as a topic, empathy, so you have to touch on each of them. So it has given us, if for example, you want to develop your curriculum, you can see that it's already been fleshed out. Number one, on self-awareness, identify and articulate personal values, strengths, weaknesses, and goals. Recognize the impact of emotions on thoughts, blah, blah, blah. Number three, so these are these. Let's now copy the self-awareness. Can we just copy out the self-awareness? So now we need to now start doing things one after the other. So let's say this is our topic 1 on lesson 1. So just copy that into the prompt, but don't send. Put it into the prompts field. And paste it in there. So now we have self-awareness. So what's the next we want to do? We want to flesh out our topics, our curriculum. If you remember, I said in this stage, one of the outcomes is the outcomes for this stage are scope documents and curriculum. So we're trying to generate the curriculum. Olam, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. Do you want me to copy that out to a Word document?
Okay, so paste it in here as well. Paste it in here as well.
Okay.
Into the prompts field, but don't send it yet because we need to tell it what we want it to do with that. So you can go up. Just before self-awareness. I mean, in the prompt box, where you just pasted something now. Okay, so what do we want it to do? Okay, well.
Oh, I mistakenly sent.
Yes, well, let's see what it has brought out, because obviously when you do that, it just recognizes that you want it to flesh it out the more. Let's see what it has brought out. If we're not okay with it, then we'll now tell you what to do. So it says, certainly, let's break down each learning outcome for self-awareness. What it's now done for you is to give you what you need to teach under each outcome. For example, I said this self-awareness is the lesson. Under your lesson, you're going to have topics or titles or topics. So the first topic is you want to identify and articulate personal values, strengths, weaknesses, and goals. So it's telling you what you're going to now write about. So it says, number 1, engage in a self-reflection exercise to explore and identify core values such as integrity, honesty, and collaboration. You want to start thinking about, how do I do that? So this is like, we have our curriculum, so to say. Now we're going to move to the Let me try and share my screen alongside yours. Let me see how that works. What we're going to do now, before we go to the next step, now we have our curriculum. Now we are on lesson 1, and we have the topics 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have what we're going to do. In fact, what it has done is to tell us what we need to do. Number 1, we should engage. Let's go back to number 1. You should engage in a self-reflection exercise. It's telling you what you need to do in terms of activity with your team, people that need to engage. So now it has given us something to do. So you're going to decide whether you want to write a bit of information about what reflection exercise, what your core values are: integrity, honesty, and collaboration. What are the core values of the organization? You need to write something under that topic to let your people know what they are. That is part of your fleshing out the topic. Now you want to engage in a self-reflection exercise. Let's say you have a virtual class with them. So you're going to tell them, let's reflect and identify these core values. And you ask every one of them, do they know what integrity means? Do they know what honesty means? You let them tell you what they think, right? Learning is already taking place because some of them will get it right. You'll be able to correct them. Some of them may not get it right. They will hear from other people. They will learn what that means, what your organization, and then you also tell them. If you're not going to have a one-on-one class with them, I mean, a virtual instructor-led or face-to-face instructor-led class with them, and you want to design this into e-learning, you already have an idea of what you need to put as scenario. For those of us that attended the scenario-based class, we know how we decided to, there are 3 elements of the scenario-based course. Give them a challenge, they have to make choices, and they see the consequence. For this number 1, engaging in self-reflection exercise, you can turn it into a scenario-based course. At the end of that course, they will know what integrity means, they will know what honesty means, or collaboration means, and then they can take it to their work and practice it. But the next one says, conduct a SWOT analysis to assess potential strengths and areas of development. So I don't know if we know what SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is more like a quadrant that has SWOT. So you can develop a template to tell them, okay, write your strength, write your weaknesses, write your opportunity, what you see as opportunity or threats. And that way you are able to understand what their strengths are in performing this task in the workplace, and then what you need to teach them. The third one is set measurable outcomes that align with personal values, leverage strength, blah, blah, blah. This has already given us our course content that we will now start putting, into fleshing out. So before we do this, let me go to, I want to share the next slide. So maybe you should stop sharing now. Or wait, I want to see if we can put both side by side. That is actually possible. If we're not able to do that, then I would have to tell you to stop sharing. A minute. So before we move on, actually, I think I should ask us if we have any questions. Are we clear about everything that we've done so far? This is the analysis stage. We just, crafted our content using ChatGPT. I mean, it depends on what you need to do. At times you have, like I mentioned earlier, you have people from different teams who are bringing insights, and you want to bring all of this insight together. You can just bring all the information on ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to summarize it for you and, make it concise. Does anyone have any question about, using ChatGPT? Or, I mean, ChatGPT is not the only tool you can use, but we are just using it here. I've given us a site where we can find different tools for different stages, for different activities. And it's the, I think I put it in the chat earlier. Those of us that came a bit late, it said www.thereisanaIforthat.com. I'm going to put it again for those that came late. So you can use any other tool. Or you need, like I said, you need to be sure of your your goals, your processes, and all of those things to be able to decide what you actually need a tool for, that you don't get confused. Absolutely. Gemini can also be used. It's also an LLM. Absolutely. So, I mean, I know some of us already know some tools already. A moment, please. Okay, yes, that's bad. You're right. Okay. Give me a moment. I'm trying to check something. Sorry, guys. Give me a moment. So, share screen. Can anyone see my screen alongside Amazon? Not seeing it here on my... Okay, can we see my screen now? Yeah. So let's quickly go through.
No, I don't see your screen.
Can't see my screen.
No,
Are you
I don't
sure?
know if any other person.
I can see it on my other device. What can you see on the screen?
It's
Oh,
my
I
screen I
see.
can see. Temitope
Okay.
says no, she can't see your screen.
Okay, so this is what is happening. There are two screens being shared. You need to check on your device and choose the one that you want to see now. Okay, that's what I had to do.
Yeah, so it's giving us options to choose.
Exactly. So choose the one shared by eLID for now. Then we'll go back to Olama's afterwards. Okay. So I'm sharing now the sure that I'm sharing here. So that... Have we been able to do that?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, you can see my PowerPoint share, right?
Yes, we can.
Mm. So on this screen now, we can see the design phase, right? So what are the things that happen in the design phase? We define learning objectives and create a learning architecture. So learning architecture is a learning experience. So it goes beyond the module. It's
Sure, I
explains.
can't see your screen yet.
You need to
I haven't
make a
done the
choice.
switch. At what point?
So what you do is
So
to go to, if you on top of your screen, you see a place where it says on top screen share, and there are two. So there will be a drop down for you to choose from. Are you using your phone or laptop?
I'm using my system, my laptop.
Okay, you know what? Let's not complicate matters. Just stop sharing so that it's only mine that is showing, and then you share after.
Okay.
Stop
Okay.
sharing. So I'll just share again now so that everyone is seeing only my screen. I believe we're all seeing my screen now, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. So we're in the design phase of the ADDIE, using the ADDIE model for our learning design. So in the design phase, of course, we outline our learning objectives, which we have done with ChatGPT. One of the things we also do in the design phase is to have a project overview plan. For example, in the analysis stage, you now understand what the learners need. You understand what the business goal is. Now you need to plan, you need to have a plan for your learning projects because it's a project. Every learning design is a learning project. So who are the people that are going to, you have your subject matter experts that you need to relate with in crafting the content. The subject matter expert needs to provide the content to you. Even though you have gone on ChatGPT to have an idea of what is necessary in preparation for that meeting with the subject matter expert. This is the stage where you meet with the subject matter expert. And then as they are telling you, these are the content that we need to use. Because of the research you did on ChatGPT, you have an idea of what is needed. You have an understanding of the learner's need. And then you can tell this subject matter expert, we don't need to give them this much information. Based on my research in the analysis stage, relating with the learners, relating with subject matter, relating with the stakeholders, understanding what is needed. They already know this one. Let's not overburden them. These are the learning gaps. Let us stick to this content. But you need to plan how often you want to meet your subject matter expert, because everyone that you need to relate with, even the learners, at some point, you need to get feedback from them. You need to plan, when am I meeting them? This project is we need to get this done in 2 months or 3 months, 3 weeks, whatever. Now, at what point do we meet the subject matter experts? At what point do I meet with the learners themselves to get feedback from them? At what point do I meet with the designers? Are we, this is the point where you decide whether you want to use videos, where you create your learning experience. Who are the people that are going to work in this project? Who is our video content creator? Are we using scenario-based? Are we using an e-learning developer? Are we using voiceover? What LMS are we using? How is the LMS administrator going to be involved in this plan to put things up there? Everyone that is in, this is the time that you create a project plan of who is to be involved and who is not to. So this is something that you can do using ChatGPT as well. You can create a project plan. You just go in. So let's go now. And secondly, you can ask ChatGPT to suggest different design elements for creativity. The output of this stage is supposed to be a storyboard. What is a storyboard? The storyboard is the blueprint of the learning experience. After you talk to the subject matter experts, the stakeholders, the learners, now you need to get sign-offs for the learning experience. Who is going to work, how they're going to work. That is your storyboard. You can use ChatGPT to get ideas about the creativity that should be involved. What are the activities that we should do? So we're going to do those two now. We already have our learning objectives outlined. So we have 3 things on this page now: outlining learning objectives, project overview plan, and then suggestion for different design elements, right? So I'm going to stop sharing back to ChatGPT now. Olama, please share your screen. Let's get these 3 things done with ChatGPT. Best way we can.
Go ahead and share my screen now.
Yes, please do. Okay, great. So the first thing we said, outlining learning objectives. So we're going to start with, so we already have our learning objectives here. Learning outcomes, learning objectives. And then these are the topics, right? So the first thing we want to do is, let's create a project plan overview. So you need to give in more information for your project plan. Now you need to tell ChatGPT the length of the project. So let's write, kindly generate a project plan for the, can you generate a learning project plan, learning design project plan. Project plan for the emotional intelligence, for the emotional intelligence for the emotional intelligence course above, so that we know that there's still a flow. Course above with the following considerations. You can put a semicolon. Don't send it, but we need to, maybe you use Control Enter also to move to the next line. We don't want it to send. Try and use, yeah. So this, we want to list out our considerations. Now the first consideration is the project should be completed. We say number one, the project should is to be completed in 4 weeks, for example. Let's say 8 weeks. Okay. The next line, how do I put it now? So what we want to tell it are the people that are going to be involved in the project. So the people involved in the project are, I want to write in a different way, are instructional designer, subject matter experts, the team, okay. The project team involves, okay. Includes, okay, great. Instructional designer. Instructional designer, subject matter experts, learners for feedback, feedbacks. Actually, tell it what we need the learners to be involved. Learners for feedback. Okay. Then comma, stakeholders for sign-offs.
Fine. The way I'm putting them in brackets, is it fine?
Yeah, it is. It is. That's why I didn't. It's perfect. Stakeholders. So what you wrote is stuck. So you need to correct that. Learning developers, LMS administrator, who else can we add? Let's say, hi, Instagram people. Hope you're enjoying the class. So, let's say, testers, or no, let's say data analysts and data analysts. We're just putting the people that we have. So we already tell it to generate a learning design project plan for the emotional intelligence about, we have the consideration. What other things do you think we can add? Any suggestions? We told it, the people in the team, we told it how long we want the project to be completed. Do we want to tell it what kind of nothing is coming to mind now. Let's send it and see what it gives us. I mean, the idea is whatever information you have, you want to put in as many information as possible for it to develop a plan for you. So let's send it. Send it. Ulama. Send it now.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, great. Can you see what's happening now? Actually breaking down for us how we can get things done. So let's go back up. Imagine you just sitting down thinking, okay, we'll call this person at this time. So it has, number one, it said project title, enhancing this. Project team, it listed it for you. This is a project plan that you're going to present to management, right? So let's keep going. Let's scroll up. And then week 1 and 2 tasks, kickoff meeting with stakeholders to discuss project goals, blah, blah, gather info from subject matter experts, blah, blah, deliverables, you see? Then week 3 and 4, content development. Week 5 and 6, course implementation, deliverables, you know? So it has given you a project plan. Do you know how long it will take you to sit down and get all this put together? Maybe like 3-4 hours. So what you now need to do, of course, is to tailor it to your own need. You want to look at it. You have experience of how long it takes for your project developers to do their project development. You know how easily you can have access to your learners. So you want to now tweak it and see what really works for your own need. What this has done for you is to create, yes, Precious, it's really impressive, right? So what ChatGPT has done for you is to create a project plan to tell you what you need to do. If you are using the version that can convert it to what's it called now? To have it on a spreadsheet, that can be done. Let's try it. Tell it to convert it to, I'm not sure, I don't know if your version can tell it. So you can say, thank you. Can you convert this to a spreadsheet or spreadsheet for me or something, or information, or suggest how to put this on a spreadsheet or something. So it would now, you can just turn it around for you and have it on a spreadsheet with the dates. For example, you can tell it the actual dates. Maybe what you can do is tell it the actual date you're starting. Let's say you're starting on the first week in April. Give it the particular dates that you're starting and tell it to create a spreadsheet with this information for you. Can it create a spreadsheet with the information above? The project is starting on so dates. So now put dates in there for you. You don't have to start looking at calendar and say, okay, when is week 1? Okay, what dates is it? You know, it just makes your work easier. And like I said, you still need to put in your own experience, you know, what works. If, you know, based on what you have now, you think that 8 weeks may not even work, you know, you can always tweak the information about with start, let me see, about full stop. They can, with the information about full stop, they can also start date is April 8th. Start is April 8th, a Monday. What's today's date? 23rd. Next week, Saturday is 30th.
Yes, April 8th is a Monday. Mm.
Okay, great. April 8th, 2024. So let's start that. Let's see how that works. You see, you have your spreadsheet being generated, which you can easily share with everyone. It's amazing, you know, when you, so this you can now share with every member of the team. You can decide, okay, who does this, who does that. You can share with them. If you have an app like monday.com, you can, you know, put all of these things inside. And the truth is, most of these apps now work with AI. You can copy this and just upload it on Monday and tell monday.com to convert it to something, to, you know, to convert it for you and send emails to whoever is involved. You know, this is how well, you know, AI can help you. So we have created a project plan. Of course, you can modify it. Let's go to suggesting different design elements. So what we are going to do is to go back and copy our topic 1, because you can't just tell it to create design elements for all of them at once. You want to take it in bits. So let's go back up.
Sorry, I want to copy this spreadsheet and paste on the document. I've never tried this actually. This is my
So
first
go
time.
down. If you go down
Okay.
at the base of this content that was just generated, you see you can see, yes, that's copy. If you're not okay with this, you can click on that replay sign. It can generate a better one for you. You know, this circle that is like recycle. If you click on that, it will regenerate and give you another option. That is, so let's try that. If you have copied this, right? So
yes,
if you do that, we have told it to regenerate it. It will regenerate it in a different format for you, and you choose the one that works for you. So you can see there is 2 of 2 now. If you click regenerate again, it will give you another one. Then you can now decide which one you want to choose. And what we have done, I'm not sure we have spent 15 minutes. You'll probably just now spend another 15 minutes to look at it in detail. Okay, do I need to tweak the maybe some of the titles, the name of the topic, some language to be in line with the kind of, you know, the kind of tone or language the organization uses. For example, the tone of language that you have in an engineering or construction organization will be different from a fintech. So those are the little things that you just want to look at and, you know, just tweak. Just give it all the information it needs. So let's go to suggested. So you want to go back to topic 1. I mean, we are just making use of what we have here, but the truth is you can decide, you need to go up more. You can decide to tweak some of these topics. For example, now what we have generated, I've told us how we can regenerate. If you click on that regenerate on that, just I think once you move away from one thing that you have regenerated, you may not be able to regenerate it again. So what you can just do if you have moved on is to copy that particular thing, put it back in the prompt field and tell it to regenerate or rephrase or give you other options. You can always do that. So let's copy our, okay, that's it. Identify and articulate personal values, strength, blah, 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 blah. Let's copy that, paste, but don't send it because we need to tell it. So before you even put it in, copy it, but let's put the instruction that we want it to do before. You can copy it, but don't paste
yes,
it.
I've copied.
Okay, great. Up to setting SMART goals. Yeah, copy it. Good. So what do we want it to do now? We want it to suggest different design elements. So you can even write, I want to write a storyboard. I want to create a storyboard for this topic. ChatGPT you know, your prompts can be conversational. I want to create a storyboard for the following topic. Comma, suggest different design elements and suggest different design elements and learning experience ideas to motivate learners. Learning experience ideas to motivate learners. So semicolon, yeah. a big colon, double colon. Let's go to the next line, Control Enter so that it doesn't send. So you now paste what you had before. So send. So now, storyboard. Let's go back up. So now, before you look at this, I want to make something clear. You know, like I said earlier, one of the things you do in the analysis stage is to understand your learners. You understand what kind of technological capability they have. You understand, you need to consider accessibility. Do you have people that have hearing issues or sight issues? Those things, when you are looking at the suggestion from ChatGPT, you'll be able to decide what will make sense and what will make sense. You want to look at how they learn. You want to look at what time are they going to learn? Do you want the learning to be flexible for them? Is there going to be virtual classroom? These are the information that you may even want to put in when you are telling it to generate a storyboard for you. Okay, but let's see what it has. The number one, scene one, introduction, design elements, bright colors and engaging graphics to capture attention, animated character representing the learner on a journey of self-discovery. Now, you know, I already suggested that when you're looking at, when you're creating courses like this in which you want people to change their behavior, one of the most amazing, great ways to deliver the learning is to create, especially if it's going to be self-managed, if it's not going to be, you have people, I give an example where you have people in different, your organization is global and you want to be able to do something consistent that you can distribute to a large variety of people. There may be a limitation in doing face-to-face. Even if there's going to be face-to-face, you want to have you have your content that will be shared for everyone. Now, one of the best ways you can deliver it is through scenario-based learning, if they are going to have self-managed learning. And now this is already giving us a scenario. It said you should use an animated character representing a learner on a journey of self-discovery. Okay. Number one, learning experience ideas. Use interactive elements to engage learners to click and explore. Okay. Begin with a short video introducing the importance of self-awareness and setting the stage for the activities ahead. The next is number two, exploring core values. You know, we have topics. It has told us about the first topic. The second topic now, visual representation of core values like integrity, honesty, collaboration in a mind map or infographic format. I don't know if you know what infographic means. Infographic is more like a graphic design in which we did something similar. You have different elements representing a particular thing. Then people can click on it. It will tell them what it means. If you did not attend our scenario-based class, you want to do that. We have it also on YouTube. Did some of these things, how to generate animated characters, real characters, how to do scenario-based learning. So it also says here, interactive sliders or buttons to learn, for learners to rank the importance of each value. You know, these are suggestions for you that you can put in your storyboard so that when you are now talking to your learning developer, you have something to tell them. Of course, you want to look at it and see, okay, are we okay with this? We'll choose this, we will not choose that. The learning experience idea incorporates storytelling or real life scenarios to illustrate the impacts of values on decision making. Okay, this is still like scenario-based learning where you give them a challenge, they make a choice, and you're able to they make a decision based on the options you give them, and then you can tell them the impact of the decision they make. All that is in the scenario-based class that we did. You need to watch to be able to see that. Then include reflection prompts and journaling exercises to encourage deeper exploration. These are suggestions. So what about SWOT analysis? Split screen layouts showing 4 quadrants of strength. You know, I mentioned this earlier. Then graphic icons or symbols representing each quadrant. That's a suggestion on how. So what ChatGPT has told you is an idea of how to deliver the course. If you now want to go further, let's say there's a particular one you're not sure of, you can just click that side. Let's say, for example, you don't know that SWOT analysis, what it means. You can just copy it. Let's copy that design elements. Don't do the learning experience now. Copy it. Let's paste and tell it to explain further or give us a visual illustration of this. Yes, give a visual illustration of this in case you are not sure. Or if you want to ask, where do I get all these graphics? Suggest where I can get the graphics in case you don't even know where to get them. We're telling you to give a visual illustration of the following. Let's put our colon. Okay, so let's send it. So now what is happening here is that this version of ChatGPT that you have cannot give visual representation, but I think BARD can do it. BRAD. I think someone gave us the name that they use now. Let me go back to so that's Gemini. If you go to Gemini, you can copy this here and take it to Gemini, and it will give you the actual, visual representation. So another tool that you can use for generating visuals is Midjourney. Okay, so I came up with something. You can stop sharing now. These are things that you just keep refining for every step. Instead of having to generate by yourself, you can just take from one step to the other. So I stumbled on, if you can copy that statement that you copied just now, can you put it in the chat for me? We said it should give us a visual representation. I actually stumbled on a website today, which is called, there are two of them, parchange.org, AI photo generator. Let me put it in the chat. So please, Olama, that prompt that you just used now. Okay, good. Let me copy it and use that AI generator. I'll share my screen. Can we all see my screen? This was something I was playing around with before this class started. If you see the prompts field here, I said, I need an image of an African woman working on a sewing machine in her workshop wearing African prints. Show shelves for her storage. So it brought out these options. I can take the one that I want. Even though it gave me typewriter, I said sewing machine, give it typewriter, but I'm sure I can continue to. So let's put in this one that we just did and see what it will bring out for us. And you may not worry about this one. You can even also decide to go on Google and just look for images of the SWOT analysis quadrants. That will be faster, actually. What is being generated here is, let me see, what did I put? Split screen showing strengths, opportunity, and threats. So what this has done for us is to give us pictures that depict these different things. This one is like strength and ego. I don't know. This is not what I need. Let me. No, not this one. Olama. Is this it?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. I'm not sure this. Let me try another one. We'll bring it here. Does this one give me something close to what I was asking about African prints, sewing machine? Yeah, so this one should be able to give us. This one actually is called crayon. This one draws. I'm not sure if this is the type of prompts that I want to use this for. Let's look at the one that has character in it. Still drawing. Midjourney is a very fantastic honestly, for these quadrants, you can just go on Google and look for quadrants for, SWOT analysis quadrants. Let me go to, this is a common quadrant, SWOT analysis quadrants. images. This is what a SWOT analysis program looks like. Okay, so this one we don't really need ChatGPT for it, but you know, searching on Google is actually AI doing it for you anyway. So it's not only softwares like Bard, like Gemini, or you know, ChatGPT that can generate. Even going on Google, you're using ChatGPT, you're using AI. Let's come here. Let's look for, this is another one, video lead. There's just a lot of them out there. Let's look for let's look for one of the things that we generated on ChatGPT that talks about people's image, generating an image and an animated character, something like that. Let's get that and put, so that I can put here. We'll soon round up. We have 8 minutes. I mean, so as we are getting to the, wait a minute, did I resume recording? Oh my God. Yes, I did. So we're coming almost to the end of this class. Does anyone have a question? Does anyone have anything that you want us to try? And let's just try it out in the last 7 minutes that we have. So Olama, can you share your screen again? Let's look at a prompt that talks about maybe the setting, or maybe that talks about the kind of animation that you should use. Let's try and generate that here. Go back. Let's go down, 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 down. Last. Let's go back. There's suggestions here. Okay, so this reflection and action plan. It says a serene background with calming colors to promote reflection. You know, that looks like general. Let's look for a suggestion that it gave us. Smartwatch or clock to represent time-bound goals. I mean, these ones are things you can just use Google to. Let's, under this getting smart goals, the smartwatch or clock image to represent time-bound goals. Let's try that. These are things you can actually get on Google. Put in the chat here. Let me copy it and try it. See what it gives us. At times, you need to be as specific as possible. These are ideas that ChatGPT has given you. If you want it to be more specific, you can put in this field here and say, be more specific, and then you can copy that and take to an image generating AI software. Okay, Jonathan, you have to go, no problem. We're rounding up. Have like 5 minutes more. AI image generator to turn text to images. This one is saying start free trial. So you can try video leap as well. I don't want to put in my email. That's why I'm not starting. I know that's going to ask me. Let me try it here as well and see what both of them bring out. But there are other ones that you may have to pay. Okay, so see picture of a clock, showing time. This is something that you can put in your design. Right, so what this one brings up is, basically, I would rather not use, except you don't want something general from Google. So you may want to come and take an image here to use as part of your presentation and all that. So trying to see, let's set a scenario. Can we go to it? I think it gave us a suggestion of a scenario. Let's look at that scenario. I wanted to give us a scenario about someone doing something. No, this is just a background. I think at the beginning of this, it suggested a scenario for something. So say animated character representing a learner on a journey of self-discovery. Let's try that. So we can add more information to this one, depending on what you really have in mind to do. Depending on what you really have in mind to do.
Do you want to share your screen? Should I stop sharing?
Okay, yeah. About 3 minutes now. I don't want to keep us here longer than we need to. Let's see what this generates. Okay, you see my screen. This is an image of someone that looks like they're on a journey of discovery. So based on what if you want it to be more, let's say you want it to be a woman executive, let's try something. Animated character of an executive lady presenting a learner on a journey of self-discovery. That is us being specific, because here we are designing our course for professionals. So you can see everything, the expression on the face shows that this person is not, So, but you need to be more specific about what you want, and it generates it for you. So that brings us to the end of the class today. I hope you guys have enjoyed the class very well. I would like to mention that the next class we're going to be having will be in 2 weeks' time. That is April. Let me see for this flyer and share. It's going to be in April, and we'll talk about the other stages of ADDIE, of ADDIE, in terms of how to use AI to enhance our learning design. Okay, so this is the flyer. Today we've just had one class. So April 6th, we're going to be having the next one. And then apart from this, we have our monthly webinar series every month. The last one we had was on the L&D data storytelling. If you have not watched it, you want to watch it, because it's really going to help you on how to convey to your organization the effectiveness of learning, how impactful learning has been. And then secondly, next month, which is April 4th, I think April 4th is the next Thursday, the first Thursday of the month, we're going to be having our class on how to break down need analysis in details. We're going to be talking about need analysis and probably need analysis and evaluation strategies, how to do your need analysis and to create evaluation strategies. We're going to be talking about that. And then our first ever virtual conference will happen in May 8th and 9th. So there won't be early session, because here we're going to have different people talk to us. It's going to be a 2-day program, all day, 8th and 9th. So the registration for that is going to start happening from next week. We're going to start sharing information about it. So I want us to be excited about that, because it's going to be really, really impactful. We're going to be talking about different things, how you generate effective learning design the theme is generate effective learning design for return on investment. So different topics, we're going to be talking about them. And we'll also have a panel section as well. So that brings us to the end of this class. And then what I would like you guys to do for me is to go online. Let me stop recording. Yeah, so hope to see you guys in the next class, and enjoy your weekend.